remember the day they laughed at me like it was yesterday. I was just a kid then, standing in the shadow of their doubts, clutching my dream like a fragile flame in a storm. I told them I wanted to be a painter, something that made my heart sing, even if the world saw it as foolish. My family's eyes widened, their sneers sharp as knives. "That's not a real job," they spat. "You're wasting your life. You'll never make it. You're just embarrassing us with your stupid dreams." They mocked me, called me a fool, told me I was chasing a fantasy that would leave me broken and alone. My father shook his head. My mother's voice dripped with disdain. "Paint? That's not a career. That's a hobby. Grow up." Their words sank deep, but I refused to drown in their cynicism. Deep down, I knew I had to leave, to prove them wrong. No, to prove to myself that I could carve a path out of the darkness they threw at me. So I left that small town with nothing but a battered backpack, a set of paints, and an unbreakable resolve. I threw myself into the world, working every dead-end job I could find, waiting tables, cleaning streets, burning through every dime to buy supplies and learn my craft. Nights blurred into mornings as I painted in cramped apartments, my hands trembling with exhaustion, but my heart ablaze with purpose. The world didn't believe in me. My own family dismissed my efforts, calling my work trash, not good enough, a joke. But I kept going. Years passed, I poured myself into my art. I entered competitions, faced rejection after rejection, but I refused to quit. Slowly, the whispers of doubt turned into applause. My paintings found their way into galleries. The critics started noticing. I became known. Success is a slow burn, but I relished every inch of it. The sweat, the tears, the nights I almost gave up. I knew I'd broken free from their chains, forged my own destiny. And then one day, I made it. My name started appearing in magazines. My art traveled the world. I had everything I dreamed of: fame, respect, a gallery of my own, the pinnacle I'd fought so desperately to reach. I was finally standing tall, not just as a painter, but as a man who had defied the impossible. I saw my father's jaw tighten, my mother's lips tremble, and I knew they hadn't quite believed I'd come back as a success. Then I walked in, carrying a large canvas, the piece that marked my journey, my breakthrough. Its vibrant colors shimmered under the dim light, an explosion of passion and perseverance. I placed it on the wall, the room falling silent. "Mom, Dad," I said, voice steady but filled with emotion. "I told you I'd make it. I told you I'd prove you wrong." They looked at the painting, silence thickening in the air. My father's eyes widened in disbelief, then flickered with something close to awe. My mother's face blurred with tears she refused to shed. I could see them struggling to grasp the man I'd become, someone they'd dismissed as a foolish dreamer. "You see this?" I continued. "This is what I fought for. Every rejection, every cruel word, every moment of doubt, I turned it into something real. I made my dreams come alive. All I ever wanted was to be enough for myself, and now I stand here with proof that I am." The room was heavy with silence. Then my father spoke, voice hoarse. "We never believed. We thought you'd fail, that you were wasting your life. We thought you'd come back broken, humiliated." I shook my head slowly. "No, I came back victorious, because I refused to listen to your doubts. I refused to let your words define me. I fought for my place, and I earned it. I don't need your approval anymore. I just needed you to see what I've become." Suddenly, my mother stepped forward, trembling. She reached out and touched the painting gently, as if afraid it might disappear. Her voice cracked. "We were wrong. We didn't see your fire. We didn't see your strength." I looked into their eyes, and for a moment the past melted away. In that quiet, powerful moment, I knew I had won more than just success. I had reclaimed my dignity, my voice, my life. They may have mocked me, dismissed me, and tried to crush my spirit, but I proved that the fire within me was unbreakable. That dreams, no matter how ridiculous they seem, are worth fighting for. That betrayal and rejection only fuel the determination to rise higher. And as I turned to leave, I knew I'd come home not just to show them what I'd become, but to remind myself, never let anyone define your worth. Never let their doubts drown your fire. Because in the end, the greatest victory is the one where you stand tall, victorious and unshaken, living proof that a dream chased with relentless passion can change everything.